All right, so now we're going to be talking about Dogecoin, but before we do so, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, hit that bell button in there so you can be basically notified about all the hottest cryptocurrencies in the market. You know, we're constantly bringing you new TA. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Ali_charts. You can follow my co-host, Jonathan at Just Analysis One. And you can also follow at Cash at Market Go with a 0 at the end. Right. So when we look into what Dogecoin has been doing, I mean, one of the most significant levels of resistance that Dogecoin faces is basically sits between 25 and 26 cents. You know, I mean, recently we got from a technical perspective, we got an upswing towards this price point that basically it kind of like resembled like it was going to break out, but at the end, you know, all the addresses that are holding, you know, more than 9.2 billion Dogecoin right here, basically, it seems like they were trying to break even on their long positions that basically push prices back down, right? So as of right now, what we can see is that Dogecoin now is currently trading at around $24.246, right? And the most significant support level that it has underneath it basically sits between 23.8 and 24.6, right? So as of right now, what I'm looking for is for a decisive close below this price point, right? So that it will signal that prices are going to continue going down, reversing maybe towards the, let's see, what's the next critical area of support, basically towards 20 cents or something around 17 cents, I believe is the next critical area of support, right? But unless prices are actually able to close on a daily price chart time frame, right, above 26, that's the moment where you should place your long orders, because when that happens, right, basically Dogecoin can run all the way up towards 32 cents, right? But as of right now, of course, the amount of support and resistance that Dogecoin is currently seeing is basically leaning, you know, towards more consolidation, right? When we look at the number of large transactions on the Dogecoin network, we have seen a significant spike in the number of large transactions on the network, right? Basically on October 17th, it was around 1,000 large transactions, while yesterday it basically hit a high of 2,600 large transactions, right? I mean, what we would like to see is basically a higher high on this metric for it to go above 3,300 large transactions, so that we can, you know, confirm that this cryptocurrency is basically bound for more upside, right? Kind of like, I believe that we have been seeing a similar trend in the number of new addresses joining the network, right? Which basically went up over the past few days, and it seems like it actually did a higher high, right? Which you know, the number of new addresses joining the network can be considered as one of the most, I would say, accurate on-chain metrics that basically pinpoint to where prices are heading next. And the fact that this did a higher high right here, right, it seems to point that Dogecoin could be bound for a bullish outlook, right? But still, we will need to wait for it to overcome and close on a daily basis above 26 cents before we can turn fully bullish on this cryptocurrency. But yeah, I mean, based on the network activity, I'm leaning more bullish on Dogecoin than I thought. I don't know what you're seeing, Jonathan. If you can hear me, I believe you're muted.
Guess it would help if I actually unmuted my mic. So yeah, I mixed. So I'll go off on the bullish side of things first. So using the half cent 3-box reversal point figure chart, I'm not bullish until there's a close at 28 even, 28 cents even, 0.028. That will form a triple top, and utilizing the vertical profit target calculation method in point and figure analysis, that yields a target range all the way up to 37 cents. with the 4-box stop at 26 cents, that's a 4.5 to 1 reward for the risk. That's what I see there. I mean, this is, you know, a point and figure chart. This is a beautiful, beautiful bullish setup, but it needs to get up there. It needs to get up to 28 cents, which consequently that is kind of precisely where it got smacked. So Senko Span B is the hardest area in the Ichimoku system. It's the strongest area of support and resistance. And I think yesterday was a good example of that, because as it got right up to Senko Span B, which is at 27 and a half, we'll say, that's where Doge got smacked down lower. And it was sitting around at 50% of that range, but then it quickly dropped down lower. If it closes below the Kijun Sen and the 382 fib retracement, which is down at 23 and a quarter, 0.2325, if we get a close below that level, I don't know how low we go from there, because below 18 and a half cents is a massive, massive volume trough in the volume profile. There is volume profile wise, there's zero support between 18 cents and we'll say generously 25 cents. Sorry, 0.09 cents. So between 18 cents and 9 cents, there's like a zip zero zilch zone. So it's it could be
That's
a very
insane.
violent drop if it hits there. But I mean, it's technically bullish still, even though we're inside the cloud, but the lagging spans above the candlesticks. Doge is still above the Tenkan Sen, the Kijun Sen, and Senko Span. I mean, it's got a lot of like near-term bullish structure, but oh my God, if it were to drop below that 23 and a half level, oof, watch out below. And that does it for me on Doge.
Wow. Wow, what an outlook. What are you seeing from a shorter term perspective, Akash?
So I was looking at this inverse head and shoulders pattern with a neckline at 0.26. Those did kind of break above it today. It was yesterday, and formed a double top here. Collected liquidity above, resting above these highs over here at swing highs formed on October 6th. And right now it's coming back to this demand zone here, ranging from 0.23 to 0.24. I think if we fail to bounce off of this demand zone over here, and if we close below the lower limit of this demand zone at 0.23, then I'm expecting something like this to play out. A retest into this level, followed by a dip into this level here, ranging from 0.21 to 0.22. That would be, like, if I'm being generous, it would be a 10% drop from here, and it could also lead to the formation like of a triple tap, hopefully, and finally a move out of this inverse head and shoulders pattern and to go higher. And so another thing that I want to point out here is this declining trend line here has been causing a lot of trouble, and it's gonna be something important that I'm gonna watch going forward and how it reacts over here. I wouldn't even be surprised if Doge actually gets congested here for a while and then finally comes around here, then breaks, retests, and then goes higher. Right, so something like this is also possible. So, but for now, I'm like cautiously optimistic. I'm not longing Doge, and not sure if I'm gonna long Doge, but I'm gonna open a pilot position here right now, and then see how it reacts off of this demand zone, and then decide if I'm gonna add more or let's close my long positions out. That's my take on Doge.
Okay, but basically a downswing to that red box that you have right there around 21, 21 cents per se, basically invalidates that head and shoulders pattern that you have drawn, correct? Especially if it
Not
closes
really,
below that.
Yeah, if it closes below this, yes, it will invalidate the bearish outlook, the bullish thesis.
Okay, and if you get a close below that, then I guess you're probably targeting something like 19 cents, right? Which is basically that low from the head, and then potentially 16, right?
Yeah, so like I explained in a couple of my older videos, let me just pull that chart up. over here.
Mhm.
Right. So even in that scenario, I'm not bearish, right? So I'm expecting this to form a triple tap setup again over here, which yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't really hurt Dogecoin as long as it stays above 0.16. But any close below that, I think we're looking at steep correction, just like Jonathan mentioned, right? But I'm still betting my chips on this line over here, which comes around 0.12. Where we might see a little bit of selling pressure kind of pause for a while before it actually eventually comes down to 0.0875 or 0.09 as John mentioned.
Yeah, the thing about Dogecoin, right? That it seems like it can you let's keep this chart exactly this way, right? So if you were to draw a trend line, right, from the all-time high all the way down, right, exactly, right, it seems like that could be potentially what do you call this, kind of like a descending triangle, right? So a potential downswing towards 16 cents could be a buy, right, as you will then potentially target a breakout of that declining trend line, and it will give you a target of around 80% exactly,
78.
but say 78%, and on the other side, the most optimistic target, what is it?
Okay, let me just
Yeah, exactly,
300,
around
360%.
363%, right? Exactly. So if you also take a look at the price action that basically Dogecoin created between February and April, what you can see in there is also kind of like the development of a descending triangle, right? Where you got a couple of fake outs, right? Of Dogecoin saying that it was going to break above that declining trend line until it actually did, and it basically just went up. Like, what was the percentage that it went up, Akash? Okay,
1,330.
1,330%, right? So, I mean, this type of descending triangles before a significant bullish upswing tends to happen a lot in Dogecoin, because if then you move back to the beginning of the year, between basically January and February, I mean, you could also potentially draw a descending triangle in there, right? Before that significant price action that we saw in February, right? So yeah, I mean, like, will Dogecoin be able to break below all of these support levels and basically go towards 0.066? I believe that was like the bearish target from Jonathan. Like, it's hard to tell, right, based on the price action that we have seen since the beginning of the year, where Dogecoin basically kind of like creates this type of descending triangles before it goes bananas, right? So as of right now, I mean, based on an on-chain perspective and the fact that there is a significant increase in the number of large transactions on the network, and also there is a significant, a higher high in the number of new addresses joining the network, I'm leaning more bullish toward Dogecoin, and I do believe that this cryptocurrency could potentially catch up with their other meme coins, right? But of course, I would have to wait for a decisive close, at least for me, above 26 cents, I would say, for Jonathan. I believe that price point for him to turn bullish, it sits around 28 cents, right? And
Yep.
for you, Akash, I believe it's around 25.41. Is that right?
For me, to be like completely bullish, I think I need to close above these two highs over here, which comes around 0.27.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but this is like my initial confirmation. 0.256, 0.257 is my initial confirmation. My secondary confirmation will arrive after a close above this declining trend line. I'm hoping it will come around 0.27.
Okay. So 0.27. Yeah, I mean, that kind of like coincides exactly. That's basically, you wanted to break above that recent high that it made, where it basically got a lot of us thinking that it was going to break out, right? So basically, you want a higher high than the recent high. So yeah, so that's basically our take on Dogecoin. I mean, from an on-chain perspective, things appear to be turning bullish. But as Jonathan said, right, I mean, breaking below 16 cents that's basically the end of this dog. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? So you can continue getting updated on the hottest cryptocurrencies on the market, and also follow us on Twitter.